Shotguns are meant to let you feel safe and sound, be it while hunting, shooting, or even home defense. But what if I tell you not every shotgun is worth buying? Yes, they are made for shooting purposes, but alas, the only thing you can get in return is the waste of your hard-earned money. No matter what fancy brand tag these shotguns have, nothing can restore their shady reputations and cover up extremely poor performances. So, without any further delay, let's see the top 6 shotguns you should never buy, even if they are selling for free. Number 6. Winchester Model 11 SL. We know that it's not necessary that everyone has the same experience with a gun, but once collective complaints begin, no one can stop the dropping red scale in the sales graph. That's exactly what happened with the Winchester Model 11 SL. It was once the talk of the town, the rising superstar, but now, it's just an old-school cool with degraded performance. The 11 SL is a semi-automatic shotgun designed to compete with some real holy grails of the 20th century. Initially, Winchester 11 SL was solely made for hunting and shooting purposes, since at the time of its debut in 1911, the concept of the semi-automatic shotgun was like a fuss in town, with no hierarchy. But as time passed, the 11 SL totally failed to upgrade itself into a better version. While Winchester did introduce semi-automatic rifles, what is the point if you can't even compete with your own competitors? Winchester quickly dropped its reputation once it started designing poor interiors and, of course, lower reliability issues. A ton of users frequently complained about how Winchester 11 gets jammed in between shootings, and without a doubt, it's pretty frustrating and leads to potential shooting threats. It's designed with quite complex mechanisms, and this complexity could lead to more frequent malfunctions if not properly maintained. Nevertheless, the Winchester Model 11 SL is also not worth buying for another reason. It was manufactured for almost a century, and at that time, the shooting needs were not as complex as today. Even if you invest in this antique today, it will be a total loss and nothing else. Number 5. Saltwood Brownings. Though saltwood isn't itself a shotgun, it's basically an exceptional firearm manufactured back in 1960 by some shotgun manufacturers, including Brownings. They tried using a way called salt curing to make walnut gun stocks dry faster and cheaper than traditional methods. Initially, the shotgun manufacturers were over the moon because the idea seemed too good to be deployed, since waiting for the wood to dry takes time and costs money. The Browning gun industry used this salt curing method, and surprisingly, it worked so well, but here's the kicker. They weren't able to remove all the salt from the wood when the process was done. And with time, the salt started to corrode the metal parts of the guns where they touched the wood, like the receiver and forend. This saltwood method was quite widespread and used in many shotguns made in 1967, 1968, 1969, and 1970. The higher quality guns were affected more because they used the salt curing mostly on the better quality wood. Saltwood can affect the aesthetics and natural integrity of firearms. For a short time being, the methodology seemed a perfect fit, but later on, it occurred as a disaster. However, it's worth mentioning that not all the Browning shotguns have saltwood, but the majority have. Browning used to replace the stocks and re-blue the guns for free if you were the original owner. But now, since most of these guns have changed hands over the years, Browning charges for these repairs. Thus, if you're considering purchasing the old Browning model, prepare yourself to see all the wood damage the saltwood has already done. It badly affects the wooden components of guns that certainly aren't left for any use after almost a century. Even if you opt for replacements of parts, it will only cost you money that is bound to waste no matter how hard you try to restore the Browning's antique. Also, if you have any intentions of selling these shotguns further, keep in mind that they have already lost their collectible value, as collectors typically prefer guns in their original, unaltered condition. This can affect the resale value of the shotgun if you decide to sell it in the future. Number 4. Cobra Terminator 12 Gauge. The Cobra Terminator is a 12-gauge shotgun that was manufactured by the now-defunct Cobra company, which is a pretty famous firearms manufacturer. This is basically a short-barreled shotgun with a pump-action mechanism and a pistol grip, making it a compact and relatively inexpensive firearm. But apart from its classical persona, buying the Cobra Terminator 12-gauge won't be a smart decision from any aspect. First and foremost, it has got pretty good legal restrictions. In many places across the world, firearms with barrel lengths below a certain threshold are regulated as short-barreled shotguns or sawed-off shotguns. You need to do a thorough research before making the purchase, and even have to check the federal state law for proper permission. Not only this, the Cobra Terminator with its 12-gauge wasn't known for its quality and reliability as well. Yes, it was a classic, an epitome back then that's almost a century ago. These firearms were often considered to be of inferior construction and materials compared to more reputable manufacturers. Also, the Cobra Terminator failed when it comes to versatility, as its short barrel and pistol length don't allow these factors. It lacks the features and ergonomics found in more traditional shotguns designed for hunting, sport shooting, or self-defense. Additionally, the aftermarket support for Cobra Terminator is almost nowhere to be found. Its spare parts already went to extinction. Thus, smartness is not to waste your hard-earned money on this 12-gauge Cobra Terminator. Otherwise, it's a forever loss. Number 3. Fierce Firearms Mayhem FX. Although this is one of the best shotguns designed by Fierce Firearms, a company renowned for their bolt-action hunting rifles, it's still considered a worst one, especially due to its quality, features, and range. Designed for targeting the flying birds in the sky and on the ground, the Mayhem FX lacks some features when compared with other quality guns. Based on the user experience, the actual gun is not the same recoil system described in the manual. Some say it is at least an inertia gun, but the recoil system is in the forend. And if we compare the price, it's not worth it. Sometimes you'll experience that the shotgun wouldn't eject the shell after each shot and would not reload the second round, which is a serious concern. So if you want to spend $800 for this gun and can afford a hefty loss when planning to resell, go for it. Number 2. Boito Double Shotgun. Also known as Boito Runo, this shotgun is a double-barreled firearm that's widely regarded for its affordability. These shotguns are typically imported from Brazil and are available in various configurations, including side-by-side and over and under models. But its inexpensiveness doesn't mean that you should go for buying the Boito shotguns. They are budgeted firearms, so there is a high chance that the build quality may not be on par with higher-end shotguns. They are often made with less expensive materials, so the durable guarantee is almost zero. Boito shotguns also don't have many of the features and refinements found in more expensive shotguns. This can include lower quality wood, basic finishes, and simplified actions. Even though the finish is also of poor quality, that can result in uneven surfaces, which can affect both the aesthetics and functionality of the firearm. Number 1. Saiga 12 Shotgun. Saiga 12 Shotgun is another semi-automatic firearm designed and manufactured by the Russian company Izhmash. It's basically based on the Kalashnikov rifle platform and is chambered for 12-gauge shotgun shells. The Saiga gained popularity due to its tactical appearance, magazine capacity, fed design, and semi-automatic action, making it suitable for a variety of applications, including sport shooting, home defense, and even competitive shooting sports like 3-gun competitions. But even despite these factors, buying a Saiga 12 isn't a smart decision. Firstly, it has got tons of legal restrictions, and they are not allowed to equip them in the United States. And secondly, their relatively expensive price is not in balance with the quality you may expect in this price range. It's quite reliable, but it somehow depends on the maintenance, and with the right ammunition, others who don't shoot very often may suffer from reliability problems, such as jamming and feeding issues. Also, they are relatively expensive even if they don't sell today. The collectible and even buying value is quite whopping, so given the reliability problems, it won't be a sane decision to go for it. Instead, you can get a competitive modern ager shotgun at the same price tag. So, with that, it's a wrap. All the shotguns we have discussed in the video were once crowned as the superheroes of their time, but today, they are comparatively useless in terms of practical purposes. Thus, it's better to invest in the modern-age firearm instead of these antiques. Don't forget to comment your thoughts below. Next time we discuss the real deals.